Safe Humanity Advocacy Center has called for enhanced synergy, consultation, and less conspiracy among political leaders and relevant stakeholders to double the armed forces' success recorded in the last 5 years. According to the Safe Humanity Advocacy, the strategy being deployed by the military hierarchy have been effective despite sabotage by the international non-governmental organizations and political actors within the theater. The center made this known in a brief strategic report on the Boko Haram crisis in Nigeria from 2010 to date and effectiveness of Nigerian military strategies towards addressing the threat posed by the insurgency. In the report signed by its executive director, Abubakar Ibrahim, the advocacy group analyzed the genesis of Boko Haram crisis, the approach of the previous governments, and what current administration is doing differently. Among others, the center recalled that military headquarters was moved from Abuja to Maiduguri. Funding for the operations drastically increased and the new military leadership were appointed. This, according to the report, has resulted in significant turnaround in the prosecution of the Boko Haram war in favor of Nigerian troops who are edging closer to the end of the clearance operation.
Between the period of 2010 to 2015 could be regarded as one of the lowest points in the history of Nigerian military because of their inability to deal with the threats posed by the Boko Haram group. The period was also occasioned by the deaths of arms and ammunition in the Nigerian military, as well as a high rate of lethargy among the officers and soldiers in the prosecution of the war against insurgency. It's indeed a statement of fact that with the advent of the Muhammadu Buhari administration in 2015, the fortunes of the Nigerian military changed as evident in the prosecution of the war against terrorism in Nigeria. A cursory look at the available indices indicates that there have been substantial gains in the fight against Boko Haram terrorist group. This period has seen their ranks broken, and they have resulted in aiming at soft targets in women and children, going on rampages in villages and causing destructions to paint a picture of a potent fighting force. However, in truth, they are in disarray. The troops have displayed the right mental balance in the prosecution of the war, and this has led to tangible gains recorded so far. All of these gains are attributed to the commitment of the Muhammadu Buhari administration to address the various threats posed by the Boko Haram group.
The Coalition for Nigeria say it is in order for President Muhammadu Buhari's nephew, Mama Daura, as an elder statement to speak on the future of Nigeria. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Patriot Sabo Ode, president of the coalition, expressed total support for the veteran journalist's vision for a new Nigeria. Daura, in a recent interview aired by BBC Hausa Service, displayed the issue of zoning and rotation of the nation's presidents. He argued that competence, not geography, should determine the next president of Nigeria in 2023, stressing that this turn by turn was done once, twice, and 3 times. It is better for this country to be the one to choose the most competent person and not for someone who comes from somewhere. According to the coalition, the outrage that trade Daura assertion is unnecessary due to the noble and patriotic goal it is capable of achieving for the country. The group added that Daura's preference for the competence over parochial consideration should be applauded, especially as it did not in any way favor any region or zone.
First and foremost, Malam Daura did not say any region should be favored for the presidency in 2023. His comment did not in any way show favor to any region or zone. Neither did he exclude any region or zone as not being competent to provide credible leadership for the country in 2023 and beyond. He only sought to emphasize the merit of competence over parochial considerations. With his statement, what his statement implies is that if the best candidate happens to be from any zone in the country, whether the person is from the south, northeast, southeast, north central, southwest, or the northwest, that person should automatically qualify to be president of Nigeria. This means that if competence is lacking in any of the candidates from any zone, including the north where Daura hails from, then that person or persons should not be given the chance to rule Nigeria.
The coalition, however, advised the honest Indigo that it is high time the country move away from parochial sentiment and submit to the dynamics of modern time.
We here, in trying to contribute our best, think that the way out is it is high time that the country moves away from parochial sentiments and submit to the dynamics of modern time, which trumps competence over sectional considerations. What is required to achieve that is for the parties to come up with high standards for the selection of their candidates so as to appeal to the electorates. This, we believe, is the way forward if the country is to get it right in its quest for good leadership. We therefore support Mamandara 100% in his quest to ensure qualitative and best form of leaders for the country in 2023 and beyond. This genuine and patriotic desire for the country should be commended by all meaning Nigerians.
Clerics at the ongoing 21 days prayer and fasting for Nigeria have said the country cannot be defeated by evil forces. The prayer session led by the National Interfaith and Religions Organization for Peace is aimed at interceding for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari as well as the various security agencies in the country. Led by the National Coordinator Bishop Sunday, the clerics unanimously agreed that Nigeria is God's project and no enemy can defeat it. In his word, I bring Calvary greeting to you all, my beloved brothers and sisters, gathered here in prayer and fasting for our dear country against the forces of evil that have conspired against it. This gathering is indeed ordained by God to rescue Nigeria at this critical point of its existence.
I bring greetings to you all, my beloved brothers and sisters gathered here in prayer and fasting for our dear country against the forces of evil that have conspired against it. This gathering is indeed ordained by God to rescue Nigeria in this critical point of existence. This gathering that consists of our brothers and sisters from both faiths is indeed a testimony that God is on the path of greatness, and we shall overcome the forces of darkness that have conspired against our nation. My brethren, I stand here before you not to preach the gospel of Christ, but rather to give a message of hope from the Most High God to all of us here as we continue in our prayer and fasting. There is indeed a statement from God that Nigeria is his project, and therefore, no matter the amount of conspiracy against it, it shall not succeed, and Nigeria shall never be defeated. Those planning evil against the country will have themselves to blame, because God has sent his angels to guide over the affairs of Nigeria. The promise of God concerning Nigeria was revealed to us in the book of Psalm 125, verse 2. Just as the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people, both now and forever. This is the promise of God towards Nigeria. God indeed revealed that he will cause the mountain to surround Nigeria both now and forever, and no harm should befall us.
Some legal practitioners have pledged to defend Nigeria's constitution and sovereignty for free against persons attempting to undermine the power of the president and the effort of the service chief. The group, under the aegis of the patriotic Nigerian lawyer and concerned citizen, made a vow at a World Press Conference in Abuja, warning pay saboteur to stop taking Nigeria for a ride. Speaking at the press conference on behalf of the group, Executive Secretary Barrister Abdul Malik Alpha described the suit by the spokespersons of the Coalition of United Political Party (CUPP) Ikenga Ngoshiori, calling for the sack of the service chief as an exercise in futility. He added that Ugoshiori's action isn't surprising owing to his known alliance with the opposition People Democratic Party and utter desperation with other enemies of the country. The legal practitioner, however, welcomed the CUPP spokesman to meet them in court and assured that neither Mr. President nor the security chief will be distracted by his paymaster antics. They also vowed to raise up in defense of the letter of the 1999 Constitution as amended and other laws of the land, defend as selfless men and women who on a daily basis risk their life.
Patriotic Nigerian lawyers assure Ugo Chinyere that Nigerians will meet him in court to ensure that neither Mr. President nor the security chiefs are distracted by the antics of his paymasters and will neither be stampeded by him. Nigerians already know them and his associate. The looters of Nigeria Treasury have seen a blind agent in Ugo Chinyere who claims to be a lawyer but knows little about Nigeria's legal system and cannot be bothered to even understand judicial terms. If you knew the position of law relating to all the issues or all the processes he has filed before a court of law, you would have been told that he who comes to equity must do so or must come to equity with clean hands. You can be assured that very selfless and patriotic Nigerian lawyers will rise up in defense of the letters of the 1999 Constitution, as amended 2011, and other laws of the land to defend our selfless men and women who on a daily basis risk their life while we are asleep.
No fewer than 2,000 Nigerians have held a thank you rally to the presidential villa, Abuja, over the success of the Empower scheme and other social intervention program in the country, led by the concerned citizen Empower Forum, with participants drawn across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. They expressed gratitude to President Muhammadu Buhari and Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Adia Sadia Farouk, for the numerous interventions targeted at the vulnerable and less privileged groupings in the country. In his address, the president of the concerned citizen, Ibrahim Kabiru Dala, extolled President Buhari as a leader with interest of the people at heart, who had displayed an unalloyed commitment to the entrenchment of sustainable growth and development. Dala recalled how the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, National Cash Transfer Program, and Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, and Empower in particular, affected common Nigerians. According to the group, the feat recorded has been made possible by the commitment, dedication, and transparency of Adia Farouk.
Buhari has done a lot of things for us. Mr. President, in such, we are gathered here to appreciate you for giving us other things that that the youth of Nigeria are appreciating you. Because you know the Empower, as we all know, that Nigerians youth has benefited a lot of things from it. And we know that this thing would have not been possible without the effort of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. On this note, if not for the fact that the country is not safe for all of us, we will have marched to the villa to thank Mr. President, that the president has done well, and whoever has not appreciated Mr. President is just like a sin against God. And for that, we will always stand by Mr. President. We want Mr. President to understand that we will always stand by him. The Concerned Citizen and Empower Forum will always be there for Mr. President, that whenever he needs Nigerian youth, we will always be there. On this note, we equally want to thank Mr. President that he should increase the number of Empower from 400,000 of Batch C to 1 million, because we are Oliver Twist, Nigerian youth, we are Oliver Twist.
By thanking President Muhammadu Buhari for the Empower Batch A and B and incoming C, the group pleaded that the number of intended intake is increased from 400,000 to 1 million.
On Sunday, July 26, 2020, Muyiwa Bamidele stepped out in style to celebrate his 50th birthday. It was his finest hour. Family members, friends, numerous admirers, and of course members of Ben Television converged at today's Faith Church, Uke in Nasarawa State, to honor him for his accomplishments so far. It was a moment for celebration as the drums were rolled out to provide good music for admirable dancing steps. Reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 12, Bishop Edward Chamomile, who was the guest speaker, charged Christians to always seek to know the number of their days.
Teach us to number our days. Because if we don't ask for wisdom, it will not come. And how does wisdom come? By what this man of God is doing today, is thanking God because 1 year has been added to him. This man became a victor not until he came into this world. This man has been existing before existence began. This man has been in the archive of God, knowing that he will have a destiny to encounter with. And today fulfillment has come. There were battles when the father and the mother met, and there was a spiritual intercourse. Millions of flew got into the mother, but he came as a victor. Praise the Lord, someone. He came as a victor. And today, God has given him grace. He has a working good relationship with God. He has encountered him. He has a good koinonia with God. He has a good spiritual intercourse with God. He has a good flow of the Spirit with God. And that is why he's celebrating God today.
The celebrant, who is a pastor, a seasoned journalist, and a staff of Ben Television, was described by many as a true man of God and a man who will go out of his way to please others. They pray for more grace and God's wisdom upon his life.
He's a minister of God to the core. He's anointed of God, and I love him, and I love his ministration. I'm very happy to witness this golden jubilee of today that we are celebrating today.
He's a man after God's heart, definitely, and number two, he cares a lot. I can remember, I think that was 10 years ago when I almost died. If not that God actually used him to help me. He's been a great man. And he's very strong. You can talk to him. If anything is bothering you, you can just walk up to him and talk to him. Even things I can't tell my mom. He is someone who can give you, even if that is his last. That's something about Pastor Bamdele. He is someone who can give, and he's a very sacrificial person.
Ever since we've met in the office, we're working together. He has been so calm. He's not this kind of man that's so authoritative, and he listens to whatever situation that is around to tackle with. My prayer for him is to see more of these years in the land of the living, and more grace for him in the mighty name of Jesus, and his ministry to be able to grow very well in Jesus' name.
The man is a sincere man of God. I met him shortly, and this few period I met him is like I've known him for years. The very first day I stepped into this place, he told me lots of things about me, and those things that he told me are actually true. And I see him as a great man of God, a sincere man of God. And his wife is my colleague. She invited me to the program. I got to know him through his wife. And what I have to say is this. He's a blessed man of God with 4 great children. In fact, the family as a whole is a challenge to me. All of them are God-fearing people. The children are God-fearing children. The wife, they are source of blessing to me. And I see them as source of blessing also to the nation. God will keep and preserve him, that he will not labor in vain. Untimely death will not be his portion. And I also pray that God will keep him to enjoy the fruit of his labor. He has been laboring in God's vineyard. I pray that grace of God will keep him and that God will satisfy him with long life and prosperity.
It's a good thing to actually celebrate a golden jubilee. So many people look up to a day like this, and unfortunately some of them don't get. My colleague is 50, and he felt there was a need to celebrate God. So it's a good thing. Celebrating 50 is a good thing. There is a Yoruba adage that says that if you thank God for the little things that he gives to you, he will give you more. And I think it's also like that for every other tribe and region.
Olumuyiwa, which means God brought this one, has every reason to be joyful. First, his birthday symbolizes the age of full adulthood and maturity, the golden age of 50 years. The young and happily married father of 5 who spoke to Ben TV could not hide his excitement while appreciating God for the grace of life and happiness. He, however, called for unity in the Christendom.
I feel great, I feel elated, and I'm very, very, very happy. There's no story without God. God has been the reason, even for this celebration. It is God who caused me to be alive. It's God that sustains life. It's the one that promotes life. It's the one that made me to come to the age of 50. So I give him all the glory, I give him all the honor, I give him all the praise. There should be unity in Christendom. How that divided by itself cannot stand. There's more we can do when Christians are united. So I pray that the Christian foes will come together in unity to serve God and to seek the face of God and to ask for God's intervention in the course of life, in the course of this country.
The high point of the event was the cutting of cake.
Justifiable praise, exalted He, saving us, unbeatable You, and super sufficient help.
Awesome raffle, Ben Television.